and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another guest with me.
Hi.
And I'm so happy to have you. I know her name, but let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Mercy. I'm friends with Veronica, so I'm very excited to be here.
It's so weird doing this when we are friends, but I wanted her to be on this channel. Just like any other videos, I always welcome people here to share their career path and what they do, just to get a general knowledge about like what different careers people are doing, to show us their career path and how they've
succeeded in
how
life.
they've succeeded to reaching their career or their goals. So Mercy, welcome.
Thank you, V. I'm excited to be here.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you want to know about me?
A lot.
Okay.
From A to Z.
From A to Z.
But
Okay.
then we'll have to have interviews every day.
Yeah, that will take a long time, so maybe not that.
No, but let's get a little bit of background about you. And yeah.
Okay. So my general background is obviously I'm from Uganda. I was born in Uganda, moved to Sweden when I was 7. So I've lived in Sweden for a very long time. I went to school here and I went to university here, and now I work and live here, basically. And it's amazing.
Do you love living here?
I do. There are a lot of charms of being here, winter not being one of them, but there's a lot of charms actually. Sweden is a beautiful country, and it has a lot of nature. I mean, it's one of the tallest countries in the world, and it only has 10 million people living here, so it's not a lot. For the tallest country in the world, that means there's a lot of nature to explore and really just, be in touch with. So I like that about Sweden.
That's the fact that I didn't know, actually. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
What has it been like growing up in Sweden society?
Well, it's been very challenging in many ways, but also great in its way. So some of the challenges are obvious. I'm from Uganda, I am black. Sweden is a country full of white people, a lot of Swedes, and of course there's moments where you feel like you're being a little bit outside of society, and there's a lot of challenges that come with that. However, it's also a country where there's a lot of opportunities, and my personal belief has been, or my personal experience rather, has been that as long as you're goal-oriented and you know what you want, you can get through in Sweden. You can really get it. It's like just right there in front of you, and it's all up to you to take it. Despite the culture differences, despite some discrimination that also takes place. But if you
Racism.
Yeah, racism, exactly. There's a lot of that also, but again, the Swedish culture of not thinking that you're better than anyone else, I think plays a very strong role in making things possible, at least for us as black people. And the key there is, if you know what you want, go for it. No one is not really gonna prevent you. They won't like it, they will tell you that, but they won't prevent you from getting it.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Really good to know.
Yeah.
And that's of course one of the reasons why I like to bring different people on this channel, because I feel like, especially like we young people, we are held back by a lot of things because of discrimination, and I feel like our generation is a little bit sensitive that if this happens, if this prevents you, don't jump over it, first solve it, and then but I love the fact that you say it's in front of you, you just have to work hard to get it. Yeah,
absolutely. Be determined. Get what's yours.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you study in gymnasium? In high school?
In high school, well, high school is called gymnasium in Sweden. Well, funny, I went to gymnasium, or high school as they call it internationally, in Skärholmens gymnasium, and I studied international baccalaureate. By then...
Wait, what? take it slow. I can't even pronounce what she said. I can't pronounce what she said. But what is what?
International Baccalaureate.
What is that?
Yeah, well, International Baccalaureate, today it's very common in Sweden, but when I started, it had only existed within the country for about 3 years. And there were only 2 or 3 schools in the whole country that had that program. And International Baccalaureate in general, it's more of kind of high school level, or when I say high school, I actually mean university level kind of study, but at high school. It's again with the international, so it's an international one. And how it's different from the usual Swedish programs is that...
Oh, wait. Is it the BMI? Eller vad heter det?
IB.
IB.
Yes.
IB.
It's IB,
right.
yeah.
Is that how this...
Yeah, IB stands for International Baccalaureate.
International Baccalaureate. Okay.
Yeah.
Honey, that's the most difficult program I've had in Sweden.
It's tough.
Intensive.
It is very intensive. It is extremely intensive, and as mentioned, it is a university level kind of studying. So you get a specific number of courses that you choose to focus on. It can't be more than 6, and then you have final exams. So I think a lot of people who are living internationally can recognize themselves in this kind of system. But for us in Sweden, you never have like international exams on one and the same day for the whole country. In Sweden, you basically have exams after every course you take. You have an exam and then you pass or you don't pass. Yeah, but in IB, you have exams like in May. Year 2 actually, which is the last year of the program.
Wow.
And it is super intense, so you have this 1 month to get the whole program in and pass the tests in order to pass the
program.
Yeah.
So this program is 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's
so
mainly
it's not like high school 3 years, the normal high school.
No, it is 2 years. The actual IB internationally is supposed to be 2 years. However, being that the Swedish law demands that when you're in high school you have to have a 3-year program. So what IB did is they had something called pre-IB. Which is the first year.
Yeah.
And in pre-IB, then you're basically studying all the courses, which is similar to all the other high school programs. And as you get that, that also means you have the basic Swedish first year high school degree grades for all of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that it was 2 years, but I pretty much have heard that most people who go through the IB, mostly that I know that have gone in Skanstull, that it's tense. It's a tense program.
It is extremely tense.
Yeah,
really.
And people who come from there are way smarter, something like that.
I don't know. Well, I'll take this as a compliment. but yeah.
For the purpose of these videos, I think this could be like an advice for people who come into the country at what age?
To go to high school here in Sweden, you should be somewhere around 15 to 19 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the time period.
And I would like recommend anyone who moves here between that age or earlier to consider this
the program.
The program.
Yeah.
It is intensive, and it's not like you're gonna, because it goes in English, right?
Yeah, it's English.
Yeah.
So the whole program is in English, all the courses, teachers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need to have Swedish to qualify?
You do need to have Swedish according to the Swedish system in order to qualify for moving on to higher studies. So in that way you can get it, but there is room for that within the IB program.
Within the program?
Yes, there's room for that.
So I would strongly recommend, if anybody is watching this video right now and you're considering moving to Sweden and you are within that qualifying age, to take the IB program.
Yes, IB diploma.
Oh, what did they say?
International Baccalaureate program.
I love the name. I love the name.
Yeah.
Okay, from high school, what did you study afterwards?
Well, after high school, I took a couple of years off and worked a little bit. I took a few courses here and there in economics. And then after about 2 years, I started doing my university, my bachelorette degree. I did that in international business management at Mälardalens högskola in Västerås.
Okay, for those who live in Sweden, you know where it is, but for those who don't live in Sweden, unfortunately, but in any case, I'll just link their link the university down below.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what it was.
That was what you studied.
Yeah, that's what I studied.
Yeah.
It was a great program. Also in English, by the way, because a lot of people think that when you come to Sweden, you have to study everything in Swedish. That's not true.
And that's a good thing that I brought you here, because most people would think that all courses, bachelor courses, go in English or in Swedish. But you should keep it in mind that some bachelor courses, they go in
English.
In English
as well.
Yeah.
A lot of university courses actually are there both in English and in Swedish, I would say. And if that's not the case, just a little tip, if you want to take a program that might be in Swedish, most of the literature used at university level is in English. Even for the Swedish.
Yeah. Even if the course is in Swedish, the teachers will lecture in Swedish, but most curriculum...
the educational material
is in English.
So the literature is definitely in English.
Especially for subjects like, let's say, economics, programming.
Definitely. Economics, IT, sciences as well. I think if you're doing literature or you're doing more social-based or law programs, then there's a chance that they might be having literature in Swedish. But a lot of them, like psychological courses, for instance, they also use English literature because, you know, these areas or these facilities, they're so much larger and international, and I mean, Sweden alone can't cover the knowledge base that's there, and in order to, you know, ensure that everybody has literature in Swedish, it would require basically translating all this literature, which is an humongous amount of literature, so it wouldn't really work out.
That's great, actually, great to know. For me, both for me and for
anything. I'm happy to share.
And tell us about your career path.
My career path, that's an interesting one.
And not just after school or uni. We want to know a little bit how you've built up your career path.
How I've built it up?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've always been a hardworking person, so I've always had a job. I basically started off as a nanny when I was 15, I think. I also had my first actual job as a breakfast hostess at the same time, around the same age. So yes, that was 2 jobs and school. And this has basically been my path. And then after that, I did some work at McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
I did. A lot of people don't know that.
I can't imagine you working at McDonald's.
Yeah, and I was not working with what I assume you're thinking. I wasn't. No. So I was not really helping out like with the food or in the kitchen or No, I had the event part.
Okay.
So managing events for children at McDonald's and making sure that they work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you by this time?
I was about 16, I think, when it started. I took it on. You have like this trainee internship opportunity when you're in school. So I took it on as an internship just once, and then I ended up keeping the job over summer.
Okay.
And then I had it as an extra for the weekends besides school and so forth.
That's great.
Yeah. So I did that. And then after that, I dropped the breakfast hostess job and jumped on sales job at On-Off. Now, for those of you living in Sweden, you need to be a certain age to know what On-Off is. Yeah, I am an elephant. No, but On-Off was an old like electronics store that existed here before. In the US, similar to Best Buy, and others right now in Sweden. You have MediaMarkt and Elgiganten. So On-Off was another one.
Yeah, because I've heard recently, actually, not that I've seen the store before or the company before, but recently I heard from someone who was like, I've worked in On-Off or something like that.
Yeah.
Within IT department or something.
Yeah. So they sold electronics.
Right.
Basically, and that's how I started my career into sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're moving too fast.
Am I now?
Okay, all right. And then, okay, so you mean like from sales or from On-Off you jumped into sales? No,
I started with sales at On-Off.
Okay.
Yeah, so On-Off was my first real sales job, where I was actually selling electronics, things from mobile phones, TV, and.
Were you like calling in, they call you?
No, this was me in place at the store.
Right.
Yeah, so I was a store representative and talked to people that way.
All right.
Yeah, and that was fun because I started doing that also as I was still in high school. So that was before I finished. Yeah. So I think I was around 17 or 18 when I took that on, and I worked with that again as an extra. And when school was over, I worked at On-Off more like full time, and just wanted to take a break from school.
Question is like, I know this is out of the question, but what is On-Off right now?
Wow, On-Off went bankrupt many years ago.
You played the part?
Totally played the part. No.
Okay, because I think it's closed, at least.
Yeah, it went bankrupt. When was it? When I was actually, yes, I played a role. Because when I quit, they went bankrupt. They needed me. I'm sorry to laugh in the camera. Jokes aside.
Okay. Yeah.
No, because I took On-Off with me. So I worked a couple of years at On-Off, like more full time. And then after that, I started university. So I took like 1.5, 2 years off after high school. And then I started at university. And then I transferred to On-Off in Västerås, where I studied. And so I did that. And when I was done with that, a year after, On-Off shut down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. It's not funny for On-Off, but it's so funny.
Yeah. You totally got my whole life story right now, like everything.
Yeah. But then after uni, what did you start? Were you still working on On-Off or?
No. I used On-Off during uni just to, sustain myself financially and avoid taking too much of the student loans. And let me see. So second year at university, as I mentioned before, I studied international business management. So that's when I got the whole economics and business interest. So I decided that I was going to be a good girl and work within the right kind of area, which was a financial institution. So I started working at Swedbank.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Directly after uni or?
During. I started off as a consultant, so to speak, a student consultant, which meant that I got to work a couple of days when I was not in school. So I could jump in and support Swedbank when they did not have people for that day or when was needed. So basically like that.
Right.
And I did that for about a year. Yeah, because I think I started that second year of university. And when I was done with school, then I jumped on to working with the Swedbank full time for about 2 years, I think it was.
Right.
Year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went to the US and studied.
To study an extra. So do you want to explain it? Like was it like an exchange student or?
No, I was not one of the smart ones. I do recommend if you're at university, use the resources there. They have resources of being exchange students, which is much cheaper. By then I was not as smart, so I finished my bachelor and worked a bit, and then I reached out to an agency actually, that helped me find. I went through an agency that helped me find the right course for me. And funny enough, that was the International Trade and Commerce.
Yeah.
At a really good school, UCLA.
Okay.
And that's how I got hooked and decided to go to Los Angeles and study.
How long were you there?
I was there for 2 years, actually,
Okay.
studying in LA.
2 years.
2 years.
Was it a master's or
Yeah.
bachelor? Master's.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a postgraduate degree that I took. So it was, it was amazing. It was, who doesn't want to go to LA, right?
I've never thought of going to USA, actually.
Frankly, neither did I. It was not even in my plan. That was the funny part of it.
Never.
Yeah, I was maybe I should go to Spain, or maybe I should go to Canada, but the US, no.
But I love the leap that you took, because it's here that one day I want to study abroad. I don't know if it's here or here. Mentally, it's not there. But it's somewhere, I think, here or in Mark Sheslam. But I don't know. It takes like courage or something like that. I don't know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Really?
I think it does. I mean, studying abroad and being in a different country, and like the way I chose being in the US, which is so far away from home being Sweden, but it's also far away from home being Uganda. So it's not like anybody can just sit on the plane and 2 hours later be there for me or with me. So that does require a little bit of courage to actually take it, but it's so worth it, because the personal growth that really comes from living and being in another country and in a different culture, it's irrepressible. Seriously, it really is.
I really hope that one day I do it, to be honest. I feel like it's an experience that I need to do.
I totally recommend it for yourself and for everyone else out there. Definitely do a study abroad someday, or just live abroad, whichever. It's an amazing experience.
I'll tell you about it when it gets to that time.
I'm hoping I'll be there to see you go.
I know. So Mercy here has, I don't know if I'm even allowed to mention it, but Mercy has a company.
I do.
And I wanted to just dive a little bit into it.
Okay, yeah.
What's the company name? What do you guys do? And how did you start this company?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so I am driving an organization. It is a non-profit organization for now. It's called Uganda Now and Tomorrow. And with the name being Uganda Now and Tomorrow, it says itself. It is made by Ugandans for Ugandans and Ugandans in Sweden. The purpose with Uganda Now and Tomorrow is actually to gather Ugandans within the Swedish community to get together. I mean, again, living in a different country, coming from a different culture, there's so many challenges that are met. Amongst others is how to navigate through the community, how to find people who have walked certain paths so that you can get knowledge and experience from them, and also how to network with others. How do we connect and support each other upwards? And so a little bit, that's the purpose that what UNAT, the shortcut for it, UNAT, that was created for. So to gather Ugandans within the Swedish community and try and help everybody, support everybody to network through.
That's really great, because this is actually partly or kind of similar to what I'm doing with my channel right now. It's to partly help people integrate into career path, whatever, to have a second opinion, something like that. And it's really great, because if someone has an organization like that, at least they have somewhere to start.
Absolutely. I mean, Uganda Now and Tomorrow welcomes everybody from, all experiences. I know we say Ugandans. Yes, it was created by Ugandans, for Ugandans mainly. But if you want to work in Uganda, or you want to meet other Ugandans, or you want to be a supporter of the Ugandan community within the diaspora here, you're more than welcome to come and join us. And what we do and focus on is hosting seminars and workshops around different life areas. We've had seminars around health and how to, work with preventative health in order to maintain your health in a better way. We've worked with motivation speaking kind of workshops. We've also had a small business expo to,
And I was there.
Yes, she was there.
It was amazing, though.
It was amazing.
But I'm always on a run.
Where are you running to, though?
That's even last time I was on a run.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I mean, I love what they do. I love the different people that I meet. See different people doing different things in this society.
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest challenge we all have as Black people out there in general is seeing ourselves represented in different areas. And so we really want to promote that, there are Ugandans out there who are doing amazing things. There are Ugandans out there who possess great skills and are really successful within the society, but they're not being seen and they're not being shown anywhere else. So we definitely want to bring them forth and introduce them to the community for the younger generation to, of course, have somebody to look up to and have somebody who they can say, oh, hey, she represents me and I want to be where she is.
And also to add on to that, it's, I don't know something, but I will just say, if you see Ugandans or anybody, especially for us Africans, and doing different things, because for example, that expo that I was having, that I attended last time, I met a fitness trainer. You met her. I met two fitness trainers actually. And for that reason, I don't need to pay someone that I don't know, who's not into my society. I can support. I mean, am I saying it wrong?
No, I think you're saying it right. Absolutely. I mean, the opportunity of connecting with people within your own community. I mean, we need to support each other in order to grow, because united we're strong.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we need to support each other, and that's what it is. And a lot of the Ugandans that come, for instance, for the expo, as you mentioned, we had the fitness trainers, two of them, and they have their own companies doing that. We had a financial advisor for corporate purposes, which is great. We also had a cosmetics company be there. And I mean, these are all the people who are Ugandans, some raised and born here, others just came to Uganda and just,
came to Sweden.
Came to Sweden, sorry. They totally came to Sweden. And they basically built their success here, and they're making it out there,
and which is amazing,
which is totally great.
So anyway, support.
Yes, Uganda Now and Tomorrow. We're on Facebook and we are on Instagram, and when we have our events, you're more than welcome to show up.
You better pay for that one.
Opportunist. That's what we're talking about, Veronica.
Supporting each other. So anyway, we have talked about the Uganda Now and Tomorrow. Now let's jump into the closing questions. What would you advise people out there who are between the age of 18, could be even younger, by 18 and 35?
Ooh.
Still waiting.
Wow. What to advise younger people, 18? Well, I would say, this might be a cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway. You are capable, you can reach your dreams, and nobody can stop you but yourself.
Right.
That's definitely an advice I would give everyone out there. Take it on, and if you need to do affirmations to get that to yourself, do it. You are capable, you can get anything you want. It's only you who can set the stop for yourself. So don't let anyone else tell you anything else.
You believe in affirmations?
I do believe in affirmations.
You ever stand in the mirror and be like, Mercy, I'm this. Mercy.
Well, maybe I don't stand in the mirror that often, but I do talk to myself a lot. I do affirm myself. I mean, I think affirmations are great in the way of reminding ourselves of who we are, our value, and the power we have within. So that's how what I use it for. I mean, otherwise, as humans, at the end of the day, we are all driven by fears and nerves and the want to belong into a community. So we want them to love us and like us.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the solutions to that is liking yourself and loving yourself and remembering, hey, haters are gonna hate.
Yeah.
Let them hate. The more haters that hate, the better you are. That's proof of it.
Yeah.
So
definitely. And the more people hate you, the more you should know that you're doing great.
Yeah. Exactly.
Definitely. So, I've learned from the best.
But of course it takes a lot of, reminding yourself that no, let them hate, I am great, I'm doing the best I can.
Because otherwise it can drain you.
Totally.
Yeah.
So.
And what advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self. Jesus.
You know why I do ask this question a lot, but I ask this question to Mercy specifically because I see Mercy as a perfectionist. What? I don't know for some reason. Everything she does is it's like a straight line. Okay, you've come late. Okay, but on a scale of comparing me and Mercy, she's always on time. I mean, the way you do things is kind of like straightforward, not beating around the bush. So, what would you give to your younger self? What kind of mistakes or what things have you done, and you think like, okay.
Oh boy, that's so funny. Yes, nowadays my, African nature and African time has a tendency of showing up. More than it actually ever did before. But I definitely think the advice I would give to my younger self is to dare take the risks more, dare make more mistakes, dare fail more. You're definitely spot on that. I do want things a certain way, and I try to do that. And a lot of times I think I also want to be the good girl, do things the right way, how my mom raised me, and not failing the culture, not failing mom, and So I definitely would tell myself to fail. fail. Because that's the only way of really learning and growing and being able to, push through to get somewhere. So failing.
And by the way, it's talking about failing. And now, since I'm still in my 20s, I feel like society always looks at you and puts a little bit of pressure when you fail. But up to this age, I'm still failing, and I'm just understanding how much important it is for me to fail than to always win, because then I will never know where I'm supposed to correct myself. So I appreciate my failures more than actually
the successes.
More than the successes, because then I know I can do that.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you, because when you fail, you also build up that resilience, and it is that resilience that will take you to success.
Exactly.
And it's every time we fall down is when we learn how not to step.
Exactly.
So when you fail, okay, that didn't work. Let me try something new. So then you acquire new knowledge, you acquire new capabilities, and you can do nothing but just grow.
Exactly.
And that's the perfect thing with failure. So, and it took me a while to learn that.
No, actually, it took me one exam to learn that it's okay to fail, because I was at uni. I did one exam, and I failed it 7 or 8 times. It could have been even 10 times. To literally, I swear.
You.
But I think it would be. Okay, maybe I failed it like 7 or 8 times. But I think right there in the middle, when I failed it the most, I felt like, you know what? This is good. Because every time I do it, I'm getting better. Because now, even if you wake me up at this moment and give me that exam, it doesn't matter if they've changed the curriculum or whatever, I can do that exam and I can pass it.
Yeah, totally.
Literally.
Yeah, it's true. And I love that you actually brought that up, because that's one of the biggest fear that we all have, failing our exams, because that means we're stupid. But no, it doesn't. It just means that you get an opportunity to actually learn even more. And when you come back to take that exam, then you ace it, and that information is stuck right up in there.
And then you can teach someone else, because that's another thing.
There we go.
Anyway,
That's
guys,
super.
thank you for coming to my channel, guys.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
I really And if you guys, if you want to see more of these videos, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment down below.
And like my girl V. She's amazing. Really, she's amazing.
Thank you.
You'll never find an awesome person.
Thank you very, very much.
Right.
Anyway, guys, see you in the next one.
Bye.
Oh my God.
And it's a wrap.